Jiu-Jitsu, Kane Shirley.
Here comes Kane Shirley as we head over now to match number 20. Denver, North Carolina. Blue Coast Jiu-Jitsu League 3. Tyrone Green is his opponent.
Blue corner, representing South Hill Submission Grappling, Tyrone Green.
Here comes Tyrone. If you're looking for him, no need to call him. He's already here, ladies and gentlemen. Tyrone is in the building. And it's time for action. Scheduled for 10 minutes. Here we go, gentlemen.
Advanced match.
Shoulder arm lock up there.
Yeah, Derek, you asked earlier about this kind of feeling out period.
Yeah.
I'd say that's how these two started.
Into a triangle immediately.
But for very brief moments.
He felt him, and he knew he was there.
And he went in.
Kane's digging in, but I'll tell you, Tyrone's giving him a good defensive reaction here.
Yeah, excellent defensive work from Tyrone there.
Tyrone lost the bandana.
He did.
Yeah, that was bound to happen.
Unfazed.
So you see in the stand-up position here, they're not engaging super hard. They're not clubbing each other. They're not really trying to hang just yet. That might come a little bit later. I would say this is more the feeling out period. Tyrone knows what he can expect from his opponent now to a degree with that quick attack into the triangle. So
the front headlock is Kane.
I think Kane is just going to go in for what he wants.
Yeah, he's done a great job just a second ago with that snap down into the front headlock. Doesn't stick to it though. Again, throw up just like you would use a jab to kind of see how your opponent's going to react. Throw on this front headlock, see how your opponent reacts. Is he going to try to sit out of it? Is he going to counter it from a standing position? How frantic is he when he goes to counter? Those are little things you could pick up here and there in this early feeling out period.
Kane tried to sway him earlier to the mat, and he does this time.
Arm drag into a knee pick.
Yeah, that was nice. That was kind of a arm drag style you see from guys like Gary Tonin, where they drag and lower their level and trip at the same time, and then attempt to make their way to the back.
Kane has the far side arm isolated pretty good.
Yeah, he's in this mounted crucifix position where Tyrone's right arm is between the legs, but Tyrone can make good use of this.
He can, yes.
You see that extended grip he has on the leg may seem...
there's a Darce attempt here. There's also a Darce.
Yep. That's the issue there. As those arms are extended...
He's breaking them down, going in for the Darce.
That Darce is deep,
That
too.
is very deep.
Kane,
if he sits his hips to the left...
That's in.
Tyrone may be struggling to get, and he gets free.
Wow. It looked like he was about to tap. I had a feeling he was going to, but now... Kane using that attempt to advance his position, now getting to mount. That was impressive.
We've seen a lot of that today.
Yeah, absolutely. Really great submission defense today. I've been thoroughly impressed and humbled. Seeing how some of these guys have gotten out of these deep arm bars and everything makes me really question everything I know about submission defense. Then again, I don't want my joints to pop, so I'm happy to tap early.
Yet another Darce set up here from Kane.
Yeah, Tyrone keeping that left elbow down close to his ribs, making it difficult for Kane to secure the Darce this time. We'll see what happens as we progress through. Got 6 minutes and 40 seconds left here. Plenty of time for these guys to work. Kane working to this knee on belly position. And Tyrone with that extended right arm.
Kane just covering him up every time. Every time. Tyrone's looking to escape.
Scooting across the mat.
Yes, sir.
But as you can tell, like kind of what we were talking about before, you're seeing a little bit slower pace as the time limit goes up, right? We talked about the intensity of wrestling. And, Derek, you had asked us the difference. You know, a little bit lower intensity, especially with the longer matches. And then when you get into the advanced rule sets, there's a lot more stuff to look out for. So you have to be a little bit more cautious. And that's what we're seeing.
One wrong move and all of a sudden you're submitting.
Exactly.
I'm curious here if Kane, if I was a gambling man, I would say that Kane is probably a pretty frequent competitor. We're seeing him kind of move in a way where points matter, right? And obviously in this rule set they don't. You know, you're not going to see points accrue. But you know, a second ago we saw him make a really great smooth transition into mount. He hung out there for 3-ish seconds, and then made his way back to side control, right? Maybe it was a tactical decision. Maybe it's something ingrained in the frequency of his competitive career.
Essentially using one move to advance to the next.
Yes. And again, if points were on the board, you would do that. You'd settle in. You'd get your points. You see the ref throw up 4 points, 2 points, whatever, and then you advance to the next move. You establish position for 3 seconds. You get your points, and then
move on.
Exactly right. But then again, Tyrone here, he's not exactly staying still, right? He's from all these positions, he's trying his best to escape, so maybe Kane felt that his position on mount was under threat, and he didn't want to lose the position and more. You can lose the position and stay safe, or you can lose it and be swept, or lose it and have a leg exposed or something like that. So he opted to go back.
Little Dayashi attempt from Kane, kind of lazily shaking it off. Now we got Tyrone going in for heel hook.
Yeah, we see Kane pulling guard and saying, "Hey, let's get this back to the ground," without much stand-up work.
Yep.
Kane sweeping, getting in the mount.
Tyrone lost that leg position.
Yeah, that can be the danger. I know that was an early critical point about leg locks. When you don't want to pass the guard, it's like, well, you sit to your butt and you attack the leg, and if you lose it, you lose position. Same could be said for arm bars, though. If you're attacking an arm bar, or you want to sit back on a guillotine, if you lose it, you have lost position too. So legs aren't really any different in that regard.
Tyrone with a good regard here, getting himself back into half guard, but no knee shield. So Kane's looking to flatten him out.
Yeah, Kane has control of that bottom arm.
Yeah.
Stripping the grip.
Knee cut pass. No underhook, but winds up getting the pass anyway.
Yeah. That's, you advise against that until you know how to do it.
Yep.
We often tell white belts, there are some rules to follow until you're good enough to break them. That's one of them. Knee cut passing without the underhook. He was able to secure the position and made his way all the way around the body to the other side with that. Coming up on 2.5 minutes left in this match. 20th match of the day. And we're back to the feet. Oh, we got a breakthrough over here from the Muay Thai.
Well, you can't contain all this action, ladies and gentlemen. Just keeps busting through.
That's right.
But the jiu-jitsu continues on. Walls back in place. Here we go. 2:30 left in this one.
Something tells me you're not slowing these guys down.
No, not at all.
All right, so Tyrone in on a straight ankle lock. He's got his hands up pretty high, and he is extending pretty heavy. But Kane is doing all the right things.
Kane went and grabbed him, brought him into him.
Yeah, great work from Kane on the defense there.
Close that distance. The straight ankle is all about extension from the attacker, and the way to prevent that is to close that distance. Exactly what Kane did.
Kane with the over tie now.
Tyrone's staying very active.
He
Very
is.
active.
Yeah, he is. He's huffing and puffing a little bit. I imagine both athletes would be at this time in the match. But yeah, he's content to work from this position when Kane decides to pull guard.
Going in on a leg entanglement, but does not have really a good bite on the leg.
Yeah, it looks like he really wants to use that straight ankle.
Coming up on just about a minute to go in the match.
And here we are in a minute. Tyrone pulling, trying to get back into them legs.
Yeah, he's pulling with the intention of entering the legs.
Yep,
You know, he's
going
not just sitting in front of his opponent. He's trying to slide his hips underneath with both legs inside of Kane's legs.
Yep.
You could, you know, it's a good way to tell the intentions of your opponent. If I was Kane, you know, that would make me keenly aware of the moves that I'm going to try to execute. Making sure that I'm not leaving my legs in a vulnerable
Beautiful
spot.
pass.
That was an excellent pass. Yeah, stepping over that leg, settling in, getting that knee in, he was starting to wedge across. But he is content to not rush to mount. Again, indicative of some of these advanced opponents, not just rushing through positions, making sure they have it. You can see right there, he got back to that knee on belly when it was the right time. He slapped out with that leg when it was the right time. Now he's back. He established that position, went back to knee on belly. It was the same thing we saw earlier.
And that's the way that one ends.
This is going to be tough because, I mean, really, when you look at it, Kane had a lot of positional dominance, but didn't really go for any submissions, whereas Tyrone was really attacking the legs.
Will they call Tyrone's name?
And your winner, the ref's decision, the red corner, Kane Shirley.
They call Kane Shirley the victor here